Hey, I didn't expect to see you here. How are you doing? I'm doing fine myself. Currently enjoying the break, doing nothing but sleeping, relaxing, making videos because I only did 3 this year, and now's the 4th. Yeah, you might be questioning the fit as well. Well, it's the end of the year. I wanted to be a little festive because I'm here to talk about all the media that came out this year, as well as the stuff that kept me going, whether it be movies, TV shows, music, video games. Yeah, you get the idea. Anyways, why don't you just sit down for a bit and enjoy the video right now.
Welcome to the 2022 Media Meltdown! In this video I will be tackling all the movies, games, TV shows, music, all of it this year! This is an unscripted video, so I apologize if it doesn't feel as organized as my other stuff. I wanted to make this video solely due to how relevant a lot of my topics are. I felt like keeping you guys up to date with all the stuff I experienced without making a 10-minute video on each of them. This doesn't mean I'll be looking over the stuff that came out this year. A lot of it consists of... just the things that kept me up during this year while I was dealing with school and actually trying with my life. So yeah, if you're questioning why I'm knocking my head on the wall for watching Alvin and the Chipmunks The Road Trip over The Force Awakens that one night, it's because there was nothing else I could fucking do. I don't even know what my game of the year was. Stray? Kirby? Sonic Frontiers? Fuck it! President of the Year, Bill Clinton! You know, before I was an elite gamer, I was a professional movie buff, watching very unique films like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Pulp Fiction. No one's ever seen those films. Nah, the film medium is so interesting. Sitting down and picking a movie is already an adventure on its own. When you find that movie and you know it clicks you at the first minute, that's how you know you're in love. I watched a good amount of films this year and had a handful of ones I really clicked with. The Batman was the Batman movie I've always wanted. I've never been a big fan of The Dark Knight. It felt so bleak from Nolan's sleepworthy pretentious writing, Batman's goofy-ass presence, their depiction of Gotham being so lame. Like, I live in Chicago. Come on, this is the best you could have done. I look at The Batman, and it's a film that feels so alive despite radiating the emo energy, and I can't lie. It got me. Gotham felt like an actual character with its grimy yet neon setting, the rain, and all the crime Batman handles, and oh my god, does Batman handle. He's good with his hands. It all comes together with the beautiful shaded shots and Michael Giacchino's haunting yet somber score. I don't know what it is, but DC's kicking Marvel's ass with Phase 4 so hard. Just all these movies, they got nothing but that taste of that disgusting, moldy ass, gray ass inside of the Krabby Patty. You know, the one from that one episode. Top Gun Maverick brings the patriot inside of me. It makes me care for the country more than the entirety of politics. I decided to watch the first one because it's one of my dad's favorite films, so watching Maverick on a late Father's Day night with the speakers and all, I loved my time with this film. They made it just as uplifting as the first one. The Nice Guys might be one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. This movie is an 11 out of 10 in the comedy spectrum. Never would I expect to see Russell Crowe from Gladiator to be in a comedy action movie with Ryan Gosling from Drive. You should definitely watch this movie with your family. Knives Out is honestly the perfect fall movie. It pains me that I didn't get to see this in theaters, as well as the sequel. Ugh.
Hey guys, so Glass Onion came out as soon as I was done recording this video, and I watched it on Netflix, and it was pretty good. I still like the first one more though.
This was a murder mystery. Definitely a favorite with how they portray it. It relies more on how the murder was set up rather than who caused it. But when you reach the part where you find out who the killer was and it hits with a theater knife, that's a masterpiece. But my favorite film of the year is a tie between two of them: The Lighthouse and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. The Lighthouse is a film about a musty-ass man and an even mustier-ass man in a lighthouse set in 19th century England. Eternal Sunshine is also a film about two people stuck in a broken relationship filled with memories neither of them want to remember. I can't choose which one I like more because they're both amazing. I mean, when I watched 2022's greatest movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once, I just sat there realizing how much more I like Eternal Sunshine. They felt similar with how creative their altered reality scenes were, but I guess Everything Everywhere All at Once just wasn't for me, unlike the latter. I don't really know how to form my love into words for this movie without doing a whole video. It was truly an amazing watch. Honestly, one of the films I wish I could just erase my memories, only to rewatch it again. Haha, because that's the plot. The Lighthouse is more appreciated on a filmmaking level for me. The vibe of this movie is untouchable. Definitely watch this on a rainy night because that's what I did and I was just immersed. From the set design, aspect ratio, lighting, it all gets the sense of claustrophobia with its film techniques, but also the confusing relationship between Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe. I don't want to explain too much, but as this film goes on, it gets more chaotic to the point where I get scared over a seagull. I'm pretty casual in the music crowd. I mean, I listen to it. Unpopular opinion, I listen to shit. But I'm not the Fantano type. Hi everyone, Wanthony Shroom here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of Drake's new album, Certified Lover Wanup. I don't really talk about music much or really analyze it on this channel, but hey, if it sounds good, then I like it. So, I never clicked with rock. I mean, I like listening to it, but I never really had my moment where I was like, yeah, the Butthole Surfers has gotta be one of the best bands ever. But I decided to give Radiohead a shot with their OK Computer album, and man, it was fucking amazing. I went through a good amount of their discography and found Kid A to be my favorite. I swear, almost any time I'm driving early in the morning or late at night, I just open up Kid A or Amnesiac and just listen to it as I drive. Whether I was driving back from the city, dropping friends off from homecoming, or simply driving as it rains, it's non-stop. Or this shit is good. I love Kid A, I love OK Computer, I love In Rainbows, I love Amnesiac, I love Hail to the Thief, I love A Moon-Shaped Pool, and Pabloni was okay. Hip-hop is my favorite genre. I love me Doom, Earl Sweatshirt's new album was addicting, and I love Kanye.
Especially Hitler.
But Kendrick, he won this year with his album Miss Him Around the Big Steppers. For a bit, I didn't really like his music. I thought his voice wasn't doing it, but over time, I got over it and really liked his shit. Mad City to Pimp a Butterfly are both albums full of bangers, but I think this new one might be my favorite. Miss Him Around the Big Steppers honestly felt like a therapy session. A really good one at that. Probably because a lot of the songs really are about Kendrick expressing his feelings on life as a human rather than a star, or that they bring this up in Father Time, but also the highs and lows of these songs. I can remember some of my first listens to this shit, like when I got to Die Hard, I was bumping to this. When I was at We Cry Together, Auntie Diaries.
Faggot.
And then it gets to Mirror, and it's like, it's a fucking banger. Aside from that, it was the usual Kanye, J. Cole, Nujabes. Yeah, I will probably never talk about music again. Alright, let's get to the chase. Better Call Saul was fucking awesome. Here's the story. Last December was a pretty big transition for me. I was just kind of having the worst time of my life. It was just some anxiety stuff with school. I didn't really have a lot of friends. Grades weren't the best. It was just fucking awful. However, I decided to pick up Breaking Bad because I was interested for a good while, and oh my god. Never have I felt more invested in a story. The characters were all so memorable, the ties between Walt and everyone who didn't know about the Heisenberg stuff, all for it to come together in the last season. It was actually a religious experience. Breaking Bad got me through a horrible time in my life, and it's one of the many reasons why it's one of my favorite pieces of media ever. Yeah, we're in the era where it's a Reddit meme, but man, that show was amazing. So when I found out there was a show featuring Saul Goodman, of fucking course I had to watch it. And I watched the first season and I didn't touch it for a bit. It wasn't bad, I just wasn't used to it. For me, it was paced slower, not a lot was really happening, but I mean, it's a show about lawyers. Yeah, Saul is there, but it's just Jimmy. I quickly got back to it, and oh my god, I think I got through it faster than I did Breaking Bad. No kidding, it was around July when I went to Germany and I didn't have anything to do. I was just in a hotel. It's pretty boring. But I had Better Call Saul, and I was watching a season a day. It was an any percent speedrun on the no chucks category. It was fucking insane. Luckily, I was able to get around to the newest episode, Fun and Games, and I managed to watch it with friends and have a great conversation with it. It kept going with the next couple of episodes, and man, what a ride. I went from season 2 to 6 in less than a week. What is wrong with me? Anyways, what was one of his favorite parts of the show?
Ernesto, don't speak to me as if I were a child.
Chuck was my favorite part of the show. There was something so lovable about this man. The instant I saw him, he was running around with a space bike and trying to get the newspaper. Just the faces he makes as he's glitching up. Chuck! I also love the new characters. Howard Hamlin is one of the funniest characters ever. Dude gets fucked so hard, almost to a point where you feel bad. My favorite part of the new season was just about how bad Howard was taking it. Like, shit with him boxing Saul, or the whole James Bond type energy he's got when he's preparing and making some nice ass coffee for his only fucking wife, and she fucking ruins it! His white ass is amazing.
Joke dog or tugboat.
The whole thing I liked was just how they handled Saul in the show. I was always a fan of him in Breaking Bad, but yeah, he was really there just for comedic purposes when characters like Hank or Jesse just started becoming more depressing and sad, and man, these shows are both really sad. I love how Better Call Saul handled depression. It really seemed like Saul wasn't satisfied when he was living out with all the money and the cartoonish vibe he had. He felt happy and all that, but where was the family? Where was the love? In each season's first episode, they start out with a black and white scene of Saul all washed up working at a Cinnabon. By the way, I tried Cinnabon for the first time when watching the Breaking Bad episode. Oh my god, it fucks so hard. Yeah, it was always so interesting seeing Saul in this position. How did he get here? And season 6 explains it because half of it is just that. The events after Breaking Bad feel so weird. A world after Walter White's crimes. Just seeing Saul try to hide with this Gene persona and it fails, we get to see how Jimmy handles it, not Saul Goodman. And man, when that final episode hit, I was never more sad to say goodbye to a piece of fiction, but like, that's it. That's the whole story. It's complete. We got everything we needed from Walt, Jesse, Saul, the Salamancas, all the new characters like Kim, Howard, and Chuck. I loved Better Call Saul. I could seriously talk about it more in another video. I didn't even get to talk about season 3, but yeah, that was a show I'll never forget. Aside from that, all the other shows I watched were pretty solid. I mean, Obi-Wan was pretty fun, the Vader shit was metal, but if I was 10, I would have loved it. My Revenge of the Sith days are over. I watched almost a season of Peaky Blinders because my cousin was trying to get me into it since Thanksgiving, but yeah, she was right. I'm now gay for Thomas Shelby. I gotta get on that show soon. Only if it weren't for Dragon Ball fucks so hard. This is shonen. I was always a Naruto kid when I was in 4th grade, but I had that interest in DBZ, man. But watching it, I've been hooked. It's only been about 2 months, and I'm at the Boo Saga, and I'm watching the original with all its filler gloriousness. I tried getting into anime like Jujutsu Kaisen, and like, I don't know, that didn't really kick with me, and a lot of other stuff like Demon Slayer or whatever shonen there is. I don't know, I just simply said anime sucks, and yeah, it does, but Dragon Ball is the exception. The world is so memorable, the development of characters like Piccolo, Vegeta, and Gohan. There's so many badass scenes. Just a scene like Goku clashing Trunks' sword with his finger is straight up badass. Everything is fucking good. The Cell Saga honestly tops all of Naruto's arcs for me. I love the shit out of Dragon Ball, and I don't know how I didn't get into this shit when I was like 4. Yeah, 4. Ugh, gaming. I haven't been playing as much this year, and whenever I do, it's just really shit from franchises I've been playing. Listen, gaming is hard. I really enjoy playing them, but just getting into one has been impossible, especially in the later half of the year. Even the new stuff, like, I didn't really have anything. I mean, maybe if I was a God of War fan or a Souls head, but luckily there was a few notable games I really liked. Melee was my strange addiction for a bit. I've always been a fan of watching the game, but actually playing it now that Slibby is a thing, yeah, it's fun as hell. The smaller roster somehow has more things to explore than the 80 plus characters in Ultimate. Not saying I hate Ultimate, but usually playing 1v1s online, it's just not fun. It doesn't feel rewarding when Melee feels freeform and lacking in gimmicky options. Obra Dinn was a wonderful experience I had. From the visuals to its attention to detail, oh my god, this is one of the best indies I've ever played. Mother 3 was actually a gem, who could have guessed? One of the few times I've actually cried over a video game because I'm a fucking pussy. I just love the world, and especially the music, oh my lord. Portal 2 was just really amazing. The atmosphere and the puzzles are great. It's just insane how well made it is. What was Gabe cooking, and is he still cooking?
That was an awesome gamer joke!
Katamari was a fun time waster I won't ever forget. It was like a rainy day for me, and I went to the dentist, and yet I still had a happy fun time with Katamari. So lovable. Kingdom Hearts 2 was fun as fuck, Nier was really good, and lastly, Elden Ring was a game that came out this year. I played Bloodborne instead, mainly because it was the one I was mostly interested in, and I feel like if I were to get into Elden Ring, a lot of older Souls games feel like shit. I'm already hesitant on Dark Souls now that I played Bloodborne, but enough of that. Bloodborne was a whole character arc for me, literally. I started this game early in the summer, and it, did not treat me lightly. Yeah, it doesn't start hand-holding you, and I really tried, but god damn, I hated it. How the hell did anyone like this? I dropped the game with 5 hours in the tutorial section without beating a boss. Then one random day in August, I just randomly picked up the game, beat the Cleric Beast. This was my moment. I felt like a god slayer. I quickly made up with Father Gascoigne and died a bit, but I knew I could beat him. It took me about 5 tries, but I did it. This was a sense of accomplishment that made me realize why people love these games. The boss selection is really amazing. I love the world and art design of Bloodborne. The gothic Victorian era of London that is Yharnam is seriously one of the coolest video game locations, and I haven't even gotten to the lore yet. As a video game, this is top tier production. But yeah, I kept going and managed to beat all the bosses in the main game, including the DLC, and holy shit, when your hand is shaking, you don't know if you played the worst fucking thing in the world, or something truly worth being titled a masterpiece. That Orphan of Kos fight, man.
So yeah, that was my 2022. It was pretty whatever media-wise, but that's fine. That wasn't the thing that was carrying me this time. For me, it was the new friends I made. It was the old friends I rekindled with. It was my better grades. It was my better attendance. I missed like 9 days, which might not sound like the best thing, but compared to like the month or 2 I missed last year, yeah, last year kind of sucked. I even got to go to my first ever music event. I got to see Lil Uzi at the Summer Smash, and you know, I don't listen to him that much, but that was an experience I'll never ever forget. When compared to this year, I feel like 2022 has just been one of the best years of my life. I've improved in every aspect to better myself. I'm at a point where I feel satisfied compared to like the entirety of high school. And it sucks because I'm now going to be in my last semester and I'm now just enjoying high school. You know, senior year has been going great for me. But when that's done, what do I got? I got YouTube, and I've only made 3 videos. So that's the one thing I need to improve.
Yeah, 3 videos is not really much of an accomplishment. I mean, I definitely think they're some of the best on my channel, but come on, I can do more than that. I want to make more content because I have a lot of fun making these videos, especially the bouncer one, but hey, with all the new stuff coming out, I mean RE4, Indiana Jones, Pikmin 4, Zelda, Fast 10, John Wick, Mario movie, Barbie, hopefully I do something with all of that. I want 2023 to be my channel's year. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I hope I make more videos next year. I probably won't.